All right, welcome to the Explainer. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on something that can feel like a total black box: how GCSE math exams are actually marked. And trust me, it's probably not what you think. Okay, let's just kick things off with the one question that gives every single student nightmares. You know the one. You've shown all your work, the page is full of calculations, you've got your method down, but that final answer is just wrong. So what happens? Do you get a big fat zero? Is it all or nothing? Right, let's get straight into it, because we need to bust the biggest myth out there when it comes to math exams. This idea that it's all about getting that one single number on the final answer line.
Here's the thing. The people marking your paper, they're not just scanning for the right answer at the bottom. No, they're actually trained to look for what you do know, to reward your method. And the secret to how this all works? Well, it's hidden in this official document you've probably never even heard of, called the mark scheme.
And this is it. What you're looking at right now is a little piece of that very document. This is the official mark scheme. It's basically the examiner's Bible, the strict blueprint they have to follow. No exceptions.
So, what's actually inside this thing? How does it all work? Let's decode this rulebook and see exactly how it translates all that working you do into actual marks on the paper.
You know, at its heart, the mark scheme is really all about one thing: fairness. It's there to make sure that your paper gets marked in the exact same way as every other student's paper, no matter who's looking at it. It's all about consistency.
Okay, so here's the key to cracking this whole thing open and making sure you get every single mark you deserve. You've got to understand that not all marks are the same. Nope, they're actually awarded for very different things.
Basically, every mark on that exam paper falls into one of three buckets. They're called M, P, and A. That stands for method, process, and accuracy. And these three letters, they are literally the building blocks of your final grade. So first up, we've got M from method. This is all about showing you know the right approach. So let's say you use the perfect formula for the question, but you make a dumb little slip-up when you're punching numbers into your calculator. Guess what? You can still get that M mark, just for showing you knew how to get started.
Next, we've got P for process. Now, this one is absolutely huge for those big, beefy, multi-step questions. This is the mark you get for stringing your steps together in a logical chain to solve the problem. Even if you don't quite make it to the final answer, showing a valid process gets you points.
And last but not least, A for accuracy. Now, this is the one you probably think of as the right answer mark. But, and this is so important, you almost never get this mark unless you've already shown a correct method or process first. I'm going to say that again. Without the MRP mark, you're not getting that A mark. They're linked.
Okay, so that's the theory, but let's see how this all plays out in the real world. We're going to look at an actual 4-mark question from a past paper.
So here's the setup. The question wants to know the total probability that player A will win a chess tournament. And to figure that out, you have to work out the chances of a few different scenarios happening and then add them all up. It's a classic multi-step problem.
And boom, check this out. This is the actual mark scheme for that exact question. Now ignore all the words and numbers for just a second and look at that column that says mark. What do you see? You see P1, P1, B1, and then finally A1.
So let's follow the breadcrumbs here. You get one process mark, that's a P1, just for finding one correct way the player can win and multiplying the probabilities. You get a second P1 for working out the probability of winning the final, and then you get a third P1 for showing the complete process of adding all those winning paths together.
So do you see what's happening? This is the big reveal. 3 out of the 4 marks, 3/4 of the points, are for the process. Only that last little A1 mark is for getting the final number right. That means you could have totally flubbed the final bit of addition and still walked away with 3 out of 4 marks. That's a game changer.
And listen, this isn't some weird one-off thing just for probability questions. Oh no, this idea of rewarding your method is baked right into the official rules for marking every single paper. Just look at some of these rules pulled straight from the examiner's guide. It literally tells them you can get method marks even if your notation is a bit messy. Or get this, if you accidentally copy a number down wrong from the question, but then use a correct method with that wrong number, you can still get the process marks. Your working is basically your ultimate safety net.
So if you take one thing away from all of this, let it be this. Your workings are a direct conversation with the examiner. Every line you write is you telling them, hey, look what I know. You're giving them the evidence they need to give you marks. So don't ever leave it blank. Show them what you're thinking, because that's exactly what they're looking for.
So, think about it. now that you know the real rules of the game, now that you know it's the process that really counts, how will you write your answers differently next time, even on the questions you're not 100% sure about? Something to think about. Thanks for joining this explainer.